Well, I think the art of putting together a season is one that takes in a multitude of factors. I think I'm very interested in sort of what we've done previously, because I don't think you want to repeat things. I'm also very interested in working with certain types of artists, and then working on projects that I think we're interested in that have come either across the desk or through the channels that we're very interested in working on. I think those are some of the factors that come into play. The way I would describe Black Pearl Sings is, first of all, I think it's a play with music, and I think most people sort of, well, is it a musical or is it not a musical? Well, it's not a musical, but there's a lot of singing in the production. It is set in the 1930s and 40s. It is between basically two actors, an African-American actress, female, and a Caucasian actress, female. And the two of them, it's about how they discover each other and how they both need to basically use each other. And it's how their sort of friendship and their relationship forms throughout that. I mean, the white woman works for the Library of Congress, and she's a song collector. And she's never been able to sort of have herself distinguished from the men that she works with. In fact, she's done a series of studies, and the men that she's worked have sort of stolen her work. And I think she's reaching out on this as sort of a solo journey here to try and make her name. And that's when she discovers Black Pearl, who is an African-American woman who's been imprisoned for murder. And it's about how their relationship forms. It's how they sort of move beyond that over the course of the play. It's a fascinating piece. We're absolutely thrilled to be bringing Christmas Carol back to Ford's Theater after a hiatus of 2 years. The production hasn't been seen here in really since 2006. So to have the production back here in 2009 is going to be extraordinary. People know, since we've announced, it's a brand new production. And I think people often say, well, what does that mean? And basically, it's a new physical production. There'll be new castings. So there'll be a new cast. There'll be new costumes, new sets. There'll be new scenery. There'll be a lot more music in this production. And I think one could think of this as much more of a musical of A Christmas Carol than ever before. I think we're very excited about this. We've got a dynamic design team in place. Michael Barron, who is the Associate Artistic Director at Signature Theater, will be directing this for us. He has been an assistant director on Civil War here at Ford's and some other productions, and we're just thrilled to have him on board here. I think it's going to be an extraordinary production. We've cast the production. Ed Jarrow, who is a local actor here, who's really just been outstanding Washington actor for years, will play the part of Ebenezer Scrooge. And we're just very, very excited about this project. I can't wait to get it up on its feet. How could we sort of bring that bicentennial year to a close on Lincoln's 201st birthday? In this play, The Rivalry, which we had kicking around, we had heard about it. It was actually produced at the 150th anniversary of Lincoln, originally in New York. And it's a wonderful piece. People often talk about the sort of Lincoln-Douglas debates, and we all understand what those are. 7 debates that took place before the Senate election between Stephen Douglas and Abraham Lincoln. They traveled all over the state of Illinois and basically debated. These debates were really extraordinary. Now, we are not going to relive the debates in the production. That's not what it's about. It's really about the characters that were surrounding these. There basically are 3 characters in the play: Abraham Lincoln, Stephen Douglas, and Stephen Douglas's wife, who plays a very critical role in this as she's tied to and befriends Abraham Lincoln. Even though the husbands, Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas, in essence appear to be sort of arch enemies throughout the debates, Stephen Douglas's wife has a very strong friendship with Abraham Lincoln, and the play is really about that and about the importance that these debates played on our American history. Mark Russell, who has been performing at Ford's for, I think, something like over 25 years. He is performed here, I think, about 20 different times, 20 different set engagements that he's had here. at Ford's. He, of course, we've missed Mark for the last couple of years where we've been closed, but it's really thrilling to have Mark come back to play at the renovated Ford's Theater. It sort of brings everything full circle here. You know, he started performing here years and years and years ago, and I think to come back now in the renovated Fords, I think will be really spectacular. So we're excited to have Mark come back. Well, I thought after producing The Rivalry and sort of bringing to the close the sort of bicentennial season of Lincoln, I thought we should do something completely wacky and just sort of out of the box. So we chose to do Little Shop of Horrors, which is, of course, a classic musical, really sort of a riff on the whole sci-fi genre. You know, Roger Corman wrote this as sort of a take on B movies. You know, it was put into a musical that was done off Broadway. It was done as a Hollywood film later. But the musical itself is completely charming. I think it is really written for young and old alike. There's great music in it, great characters, a fun story, something that the entire family will enjoy, and I think it could be a really big hit. And we're very excited to be producing it here in Washington.